हाय गाइस, मेरा नाम है ध्रुव और आप देख रहे हैं डीजी रिदम्स का यूट्यूब चैनल। आज मैं आपको 5 ऐसी चीज़ें बताऊंगा जो यू नीड टू डू व्हेन यू एंटर अ म्यूजिक स्कूल और अ म्यूजिक कॉलेज. I have studied from AFT Noida and I have a 4-year degree course which is known as Bachelor of Performing Arts in Music Production. So the first thing is you need to really focus on the music theory part. आई एम प्रीटी श्योर आप म्यूजिक कॉलेज में आए हो तो आप म्यूजिक कॉलेज में म्यूजिक बनाने आए हो. You might want to become a star, but I really think if you want that confidence of a degree, the music degree is solely based on like majors like Indian classical or Western classical. Because what happens is when you learn classical, it gets easier for you to produce and make pop music and write pop music and sing pop music. Because Indian classical is very complex. Western classical is also very complex. It has a lot of layers. It has like opera and other stuff. I really don't know much about it because I'm an Indian classical major. I listen to a lot of jazz and blues though. So the first thing is you need to really, for building confidence, learn music theory as soon as you enter college, because it will take time for you to read and write theory. Because drums have percussion clef, guitars have tabs. Normal music theory is like staff notes, because when you learn them, it gets easier for you to communicate to other music. Obviously production, there's a language for production as well. If you're specializing in production, you really need to learn that production language. Like there was like rumble, there was like this is a little story time. My first ever music production teacher was not from like a music background. He knew guitar and piano and production, but his degree transcripts told us that he was a BTech student. He did a job for a couple of years and then he made a studio, out of his own sheer will. He made songs, he had a lot of clients, but I don't think unpe utna confidence tha. I think he lacked confidence, and that is not because of not having a degree in music. It's because he knew guitar but he didn't know the theory of it. He didn't know about the piano, the its and bits and the little pieces. Obviously he was a production teacher, he knew production, but production maybe he was confused. I think the second most, that's why I am telling you to learn music theory, because that gives you a lot of confidence over your instruments, over your production, over your songwriting. Because when you know structures, because music production is all about structures, songwriting is all about writing a verse, chorus, and portraying a deeper meaning. And if you're well versed with the structures, you'll portray a deeper meaning. And if you're well versed with the structures, it's easier for you to play licks and solos and So the second most important thing I think in music school is the attitude. First year, if you are going in, nobody trusted me. Nobody's gonna trust you. You need to build that trust first. Second, when after 6 months later, when you have all of these amazing friends or not so amazing friends, you really need to collaborate, because some of them may be your best friends, some of them may be your competitors, or some of them may be your frenemies, or both of them. Like तुम्हारे competitors भी हैं, mates भी हैं, but you cannot forget that as you progress, you need to collaborate, because that's the stepping stone to success. What I think third is like the gear is most important, because you learn a lot in a music school, but if you don't do it practically, then there's no point in. Also, you might think that expensive iPhone is not needed, that expensive piano is not needed, that drums are not needed, but I think even if you're not a drummer, you need that drum, because you need to hear that sound. Even if you are satisfied with the piano, you need an expensive piano, because at this point of time you're trying to be a professional, and if you are not well versed with the sounds, then what are you going to play live? Your live act will suck if you don't know how expensive instruments sounds, or if you don't know how to make and cheaper instruments sound expensive. Because what happens is expensive instruments sounds amazing, and cheaper instruments can also sound amazing, but you need to be that good of a player. While you're starting, while you're in the first year of college, you really need to understand all of the sounds. You really need to collect little, small, heavy gear, whatever you can afford. But I have seen a lot of people telling me that no, I don't need gear. But I think by the fourth year, if you are not gonna buy gear in the first year, by the fourth year, by the third year, by the second year, you lag behind. There's no really real explanation of why you wanna buy. It's just the sound, expensive sounds expensive, cheap sounds cheap. You explore the instrument, and then it becomes a part of you as a musician. Fourth thing is like the catalog. You need to start building, your music. Like, you know, if you're a writer, you need to write songs like in bulk and, you know, explore different structures, explore different things. And if you're a producer, you need to explore different genres, because this is a music school, you know. You need not to, you know, be stuck. You need to experiment, you need to collaborate, you need to collect gears, but most importantly, you need to build a catalog with all of the bhaicharas, all of the gear, and, you know, all of the teachings, you know, your teachers gave you, because that's how you're going to monetize later. On the later stage, fourth year, you're not going to suddenly make a catalog, suddenly make a resume, suddenly make a video about it. The fifth is structural knowledge. I think, you know, if you are enrolled in a music school, in a bachelor or a master's degree for music, you don't need that YouTube education. You are here for some extra or some. You need to make sure that your pillars are strong. For that, you need structural knowledge. मॉड्यूल 1 होना चाहिए, मॉड्यूल 3 नहीं होना चाहिए. या यूट्यूब पे आज ये देख रहे हैं, कल वो देख रहे हैं, ये नहीं होना चाहिए. स्ट्रक्चर्ड नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, जो एक डिग्री में आपको मिलती है, विच रियली हेल्प्स यू सक्सीड इन लाइफ. बिकॉज फिर आप हर चीज़ में स्ट्रक्चर ढूंढने लगते हो, और हर चीज़ में स्ट्रक्चर ढूंढना इज़ नॉट ऑलवेज, यू नो, पॉसिबल एंड नॉट ऑलवेज बेनिफिशियल. बट हर चीज़ में स्ट्रक्चर ढूंढने से इट मेक्स योर लाइफ ईजियर, इट मेक्स यू more efficient. It might take longer, but, you know, in the long run, it makes you like productive. Yeah, so these are like the 5 things that I think, you know, you really need to do.